Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to use the AI agent to fully configure the security of my app. And without further ado, let's start. The very first step is to create your user so you can separate the information you're going to show to every single one of them. And there are many ways you can create your users. You could opt for a simple user creation and authentication by using a username and password, which is very simple to implement, or you could have a social login that integrates with Apple, Google, Facebook, or many others. For this concept of this video, we're going to use a user authentication that consists of username and password because at the very end, the result will be the same and it's much simpler to implement on your first app if you're just starting. Now, we do support the other authentication methods as social login methods, but those will not be covered in this video. So here I am at my Back4app dashboard where I selected the user class where I'm going to create 3 distinct users that will authenticate through username and password and will give different access to every single one of those users. So to create a user that authenticates through username and password, all I have to do is to set a user with a username and password. So I'll just click add a role and I'm going to use the username Alex and put any password here, so something. Click add. Then I'm going to create another user. This one will be called Allison. And once again, any random password over here. Click add. And last but not least, let's create a third one called Charles. And once again, a random password. And there you go. My 3 users have been set, and now I'm going to create different roles so we can aggregate those users to those roles and apply security rules for the roles instead of the users. Now that we have our users, it's time for us to use the AI agent to create the roles. You can think of a role as a group of users that share similar privileges for writing and reading objects in your database. So as your application grows, it starts to get very difficult for you to manage permissions in a per user basis, because it's very easy to do when you have like 3 users like we do now. But if you have 3 million users, it's very difficult for you to go one by one setting those permissions. So instead, what we do is create a role and put those users into their respective roles. And every time you change the permissions for a role, it will affect all the users inside that role. And once again, you can do this manually by going here on the role class and creating those roles yourself. But since this is an AI aimed video, we're going to use our AI to do that. And you can go to our AI agent by clicking this button over here, and you end up in this screen that I have right here. And then you click New Agent. And in here, we will start prompting. So in my account, there is an app named, and what's my name is My Secure App. My Secure App. In this app, please create 3 roles: admin, moderator, and user. Let's call it regular. Hit enter and wait for the AI agent to do its magic. So yes, I do want to create all the ACLs. And there you go. Let's go back to our dashboard, refresh the screen, and we should have our 3 roles created. So we have admin, regular, and moderator. And now we can start adding the users to those roles. So back to the AI agent, I'm going to ask it, now please add these users to the roles specified. Alex should be an admin. Charles should be a moderator, and Alison should be a regular. Enter. And there we go. Now if you go back to our class, let's just wait for it to finish. And if we refresh the screen, once again, I can go here on the admin. If I expand the view relation for the users, and I'll see that Alex is actually an admin. And for regular, it should be Alison. Let's check that. And there we go. Alison is now a regular. And last but not least, as a moderator, we should have Charles. So if we go here, Charles is a moderator. Now, from now on, every time I change this role to give or remove permissions for reading and writing in any single class or object, it should affect those users contained into that role. So this gives immense flexibility for you to set your permissions for reading and writing instead of having the complexity of setting it in other user bases. Now we can also use the AI to create sample classes and fill up with test data. So back to our AI agent, I'm going to prompt it to please now create a new class named post. A post should have a title. Oops, let's use a title like this, which will be a string, and a text, also string. For every post, moderators and users can read the post. Only admins and moderators can write the post. Please fill this class up with 10 sample records. And let's also specify that regulars can read, because then it will not assume they shouldn't. So regulars can only read the posts. Hit enter, and it should understand and apply all the settings the way we want. There we go. Let's go back to our dashboard and let's refresh the screen so we can see if everything is going according to the plan. So we have post with 10 records, and now we can test the security for this class. So exactly here on the API section, if you go to console, you can make a GET request to classes / in our class name, which is post. And I'm going to try to impersonate the users by setting the run as field with the username that I want and see if it behaves correctly. So everyone should be able to read those records. So I assumed that Alison, Alex, and Charles could read the records. So let's try to use Alison. Now, if I send a query, there we go. I could read the records. Now, if I choose Alex, send the query again, the result is the same because I can read those records. And if I put in here Charles, I can also read the same records because I specified it as this. Now, let's try to create a new class with other permissions so we can ensure only admins and moderators can read that class. Back to my AI agent, I'm going to create a new class called internal messages that only moderators and admins should be able to read. So let's try that out. So please create a new class named internal message that has a message field string. Only admins and moderators should be able to read those internal messages. Regulars cannot read or write internal messages. Please fill up this class with 3 sample records. And once again, let's make it run and try to do its magic. And there we go, our class was created. Let's see if it behaves as expected. So back here, let's go to the database browser. Here I have my internal messages, where I have the ACL set for admin and others that the AI did by itself, and I have this content internal message 1, 2, and 3. Now back to the API section, we're going to go to console again, make a GET request to classes/internal message. And let's try to impersonate Alex, and I should be able to read everything because I am a admin. So send query, and there we go, I have my messages. Now Charles is a moderator, so he also should be able to read everything. So if I just send query, I have the exact same result, which is expected. But now Allison is a regular. He should not be able to read those messages. So let's try to impersonate Allison. And when I click send query, there you go. I have a message telling that I don't have access to it. So this class is now limited to be read only by admins and moderators, and this is one step above further, so we can secure our app, ensuring only the correct users can read and write the records the way we specify. Now, those are pretty much all built-in security features of the system, and the AI is just setting it the way we specify. But many times you need some more complexity added to your application, and you need to write what we call cloud code functions, which is our version of serverless functions, and you need to ensure some rules apply to those functions as well, so only certain people can execute certain functions. And we can ask the AI to generate both the functions and the security rules for us. So back to my AI agent, I'm going to ask to create a new function for me. So in this app, please create a cloud code function, name it retrieve message that retrieves the newest internal message. This cloud code function should be only be allowed to be called by admins. If a regular or a moderator calls this function, it should return an error. Please deploy that function to my app. Let's wait and see if it's going to write the function correctly and if it's going to set the rules the way we expected. So there we go, it seems to have deployed the function, so let's go back to our dashboard and investigate if it is implemented correctly. So here in Cloud Code we have our main.js file, and there we go, we have our retrieve message over here. So it's going to check for a user. If I don't have one, which means I'm not authenticated, I'm going to have an unauthenticated user error. Then it's going to check the roles to see if I have a admin role, and if it's going to check if I have access to that role or not. If I do have, it's going to query the internal message class, this sending by created at, which is a field that shows when the message was created, and it's going to query that first record because I only specified that on the newest one and return that to me. So here again on the API section, we're going to console and REST. We're going to make a post to functions / retrieve message. And let's try to impersonate Alison, which is a regular. So Alison. And let's try to call this. And I have access denied because even though I am authenticated with Alison, I don't have access to that method. Now let's try with Charles. And once again, if I send this, I get the same error, access denied, because Charles also does not have access to the method. Now what if I run it as Alex? So Alex, and if I come here and send, there you go, I have access to the newest message created. But what if I don't send any users? So if I just remove all this and click send query, there you go, I have an unauthorized error. So as long as you can correctly specify which users or roles should be able to call your methods, your classes, and which permissions they should have into that scope, the AI is smart enough to write everything for you. So this saves a lot of time and troubleshooting and usually provides a very, very good solution at the first try. So I really recommend that you try the AI agent and see the wonders it can do for your code, because it usually gives very good solutions and there is minimal rework needed. So I hope you enjoyed this video and hope to see you back on the next one. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on new content like this, and see you soon. Bye bye!